Greetings, this is Jaxler, and this is going to be a tutorial slash setup guide for the Neopets the Darkest Faerie speedrun slash practice hack. This entire thing was made by a single person, Monster860, so if you find this video helpful and this practice hack helpful, please consider supporting Monster by going and checking out his YouTube channel. He makes a lot of great content on this game in general. But this will be a guide to getting the mod up and running on your PS2 console. This is not going to cover getting it set up on emulator because that's a bit of a different process and kind of outside the scope of this video. So if you're interested in getting it set up on emulator, then go ahead and check out our community's Discord, which will be linked in the video description, and someone there will be able to help you out that has a little more experience than me. Now, if you're looking to see what exactly the practice hack is capable of doing, that's going to be covered in the next video. But if you want to skip both of those and just kind of get right into it and start learning some of these strats, like if you're doing this for a 12-hour challenge or so, you can go ahead and skip to part 1 and we'll start covering the speedrun route right away. But for anyone who's new to this game, or if this is like your first speedrunning game, I highly recommend trying to get the practice tools set up if you can, because they will make the learning process a lot easier, and it will give you a bunch of utilities that'll be really useful when you're learning some of the speedrunning strats. So if you're not sure about the investment and some of the stuff that you'll need to get this set up, then I will go ahead and watch that next video that will cover the manual that will cover the full functionality of what the practice tools have to offer. In this video, I'm going to be going over the free McBoot method of getting this set up. This practice hack is going to be loaded through the use of a PS2 homebrew software known as ULaunch ELF. That's what we're going to be using to load the mod file. Essentially, the way that this mod file works is that you're going to be running the ELF file, which is the thing that Monster created, before the game actually boots, and then it will change some of the. It won't change any of the files on the disk, but it will sort of like edit some stuff in the game when you run it with the practice hack, and then when you turn off the console, everything in your game will go back to normal, as if it were like a factory copy. So in a way, this is kind of like a mod, but at the same time, it doesn't really change your PS2 or your game disc. It's still a legitimate disc. Obviously, you can't like speedrun with the practice hack on because that wouldn't really be fair. But it's really, really useful, and we're going to be showing you how to. So if you have what's called a free McBoot card, it should come with ULaunch ELF already, and that's what I'm going to be showing you how to use here. That would be my recommendation for basically 90% of people who want to get this set up. The one instance where you don't want to use a free McBoot card is if you have what's called a 90K model PS2. So the way you can tell if that's what your PS2 model is, first of all, if you have a fat PS2, then you have nothing to worry about. But if you have a slim model PS2, the way to know the difference is if your PS2, like about 50% of the top part of the console is made out of like a smooth, kind of shiny black plastic, as opposed to the more textured rough plastic on the other parts of the console. That's how you know you have the 90K model. And then most of all the other models will have, instead of like half of the top of the console being that shiny black plastic, it'll just be like a small stripe where the PS2 logo is. And if you're having trouble identifying which model number of PS2 that you have, feel free to reach out to us and send us some pictures, and we'll be able to help you tell the difference. There are ways to get ULaunch ELF to work on 90K PS2 models, but that's going to be a little bit outside the scope of this video. So I've included a link in the description for another way of getting homebrew software to run off of your PS2. But that one's a bit more complicated and has a little bit more of an investment. So if you're thinking about going down that route, reach out to one of us first before you make that decision. Okay, so in order to do the method that we're going to be doing for this video, you need what's called a free McBoot card. So I kind of already alluded to this already. So what a free McBoot card is it's just a memory card that's loaded with an exploit on it, so that when you boot your PS2 up with it, it'll sort of boot into a homebrew menu that'll allow you to run some new programs off of it. So if you've seen like the homebrew the homebrew channel from like modding Wii's or 3DS's, stuff like that, it's a similar kind of concept. But you can find pre-made free McBoot memory cards on like eBay and stuff like that. They're relatively inexpensive. I haven't checked in a while, but when I got mine, it was less than $10. So it's a nice, convenient way if you want to get it set up. But we would be happy to help you find listings if you're having trouble with it on eBay or something like that. In order to get this working, you're also going to need a USB drive of some kind. I'm using this one right here. It's just some random Lexar one that I have lying around. The file that we're actually loading onto it is very small, so you can pretty much use any size. You could use a really small one if you want to. The last thing you'll need is just a regular old memory card, which might sound kind of weird. But one of the, I'll spoil it in advance, one of the nice things about the hack pack is it lets you it opens up the game so that you can create way more save files than the original game ever allowed you to. So having like a memory card is going to be like one of the best ways that you can take advantage of this hack pack. So obviously the bigger the memory cards you have, the more extra files that you can save on it. So if you have like a super like backed up memory card with a lot of stuff on it, I would either consider clearing some of it out, or you may just want to get like a new smaller one entirely. That's going to depend on your setup, and that's not something I can really judge from being behind the camera here. So just keep that in mind. But those are really the three things that you need: the regular memory card, the free McBoot card, and the flash drive or the USB drive. All right, so I'm gonna close myself away. So in order to download the file that we're going to be using to do the game hack, we're going to need to go to the speedrun.com page. So I have it already pulled up right here, and it is speedrun.com/neopetstdf right here. And so I already went ahead and clicked on it, but we're going to be going underneath the resources tab here in order to get what we need. There's going to be some more useful stuff here for you that you might want to look into a bit later once we get into some of the further videos. But what you want to look for is, if you scroll down to the bottom, you should see this under this patches thing here, this Darkest Faerie practice tools. And so what you're going to want to do is click on that link, and it's going to take you to this GitHub page. And you'll see a couple sets of files here. For consoles, what you want to download is this df_hack.elf and save that to your computer. So we're going to do that right now. So I just click on it, and it just downloads. You're going to see a 5 next to it because I've already downloaded this a couple of times as it's been updated over the last couple of years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and head over to my downloads. And now you want to get out your USB memory stick or your USB drive or whatever you call it. All right, so I have it opened up right here now that we've downloaded the practice tools, and I'm just going to drag that over onto the USB drive. So now we've got it copied over. And then you don't have to do this, but I recommend renaming it if you have like that extra number on the end like I do. Just make sure that it says df_hack.elf. So as you can see, it's a relatively small file size, less than like 430 kilobits, which is very, very small. So like I said, you really don't need a very big flash drive. Just keep in mind that whenever you boot up the practice hack, you'll need to have the flash drive plugged in. So you may want to use a flash drive that you don't generally plan on using for much else, or something that you already use for like homebrewing, like on your Wii, for example, if you have that, or like homebrewing for other stuff. It's nice to keep everything in one place, I suppose. All right, so we've copied it onto our USB stick, so we just close out of that, and now we're going to actually hop onto our PS2. So I'm currently booted into my PS2 right now on the regular screen here. So what you're going to do is, if you're already booted in, just shut off the PS2. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that free McBoot card that I was talking about, and you're going to put it in. You can put it in either memory card slot 1 or 2, but I recommend putting it in memory card slot 2, so that you can put your memory card with your save files in slot 1. So what I like to do is I like to put it my actual memory card in first on the left, and then I toss in my free McBoot card on the right, and then open up the disk tray and boot up the PS2. So just going to give it a sec, And you should see this free McBoot label come up. That means that your card is working. And then you should see this big menu pop up here in just a second. All right, great. So now you see we have kind of a different boot version. So the options that you'll see in this list, if you get a free McBoot card from like eBay or something, may be different depending on who made it. But there's like a bunch of utilities here and stuff like that. So in order, the minimum that you have to do in order to get the hack pack to run is you want to select ULaunch ELF right here. So for me, that's the top option right there. And so it's going to boot into this menu right here. I apologize for the flickering in advance. That's just on my capture. So go ahead and hit circle to go to file browser. And then we're navigating with it up and down with the D-pad here. You want to hover over mass. So mass refers to mass storage device or the USB that you have plugged in. So at this point, what you're going to do is plug in your USB drive into one of the USB ports on the front of your PS2, or I guess in the back works too. I don't know if there's any in the back, but for convenience, I'm just going to plug it into one of the ones on the front, just like that. And then we're going to hit circle on mass, and then it's going to open up what's on our USB drive. So you're going to see three options here. You're going to see the hack ELF file that we just installed onto our flash drive. And then these other two files here, those are my own personal files, so don't worry about those. But all you need to do is just press circle on that, and it boots up the hack. So you can already see that it's successfully loaded in. This is a new feature where if you don't close the disk tray, it will show you this screen. So in order to load into the game, just close your disk tray from here. Wait a second for the disk to load, and then hit X to try again. There we go, it boots right into the game. And now I'll load into the game so I can show you how to make sure that it actually loaded properly. Because we saw that screen right there, that generally confirms that like the hack pack loaded in successfully. But as we load into the game here, I'll show you really quick. Loading this game is slow. Alright, so if you hit load game, you should already see right away that there's a 0-1 next to load game. One of the features of the hack pack, like I said, is that you can have pretty much as many save files as you could ever hope. So if you see that 0-1 up at the top, that means that you successfully loaded the hack pack. Now, that's pretty much all you need to do to get the hack pack running. But before I conclude the video, I want to show you something really quick that will make it a little bit more convenient so you don't have to go through ULaunch ELF, wait for the thing to do its thing, and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and restart the PS2 and open up my disk tray so that we get back to the free McBoot screen here. And I'm going to scroll all the way to the bottom. So I just hit up on the D-pad and go to where it says Free McBoot Configurator. I already have this set up, but I'm going to walk you through the process. Just choose whatever here, so I'm going to choose X. Okay, so you're going to see this screen right here, and what you want to do is hit down on the D-pad until you go to Configure OSD Sys Options. So what I'm showing you here is, you might have seen the TDF hacks thing on the scrolling menu earlier. What I'm going to show you how to do here is how to create like a little shortcut on the free McBoot menu, so that you can scroll straight to the hack pack and not have to go through ULaunch ELF. Okay, so this part's kind of optional, but I think this is very convenient, so I figured I would show you. So while you're hovered over Configure OSD Sys Options, hit X, and you're going to go down to the second option here, which says Configure Item 1. So this is what's going to allow us to like change the different like options in the menu. You can have up to 100, but what we're going to go here is I'm going to scroll all the way over to 16, which is the one that I already have set up, and click X on it. So we've checked the 16th slot. It'll probably be like 14 or 15 for you if you have a fresh free McBoot card. But if you select it, you can change the name of how it appears on the screen. And then the important part is this path right here. So the path is like how FreeMcBoot knows where to find the hack file. So what you do is you go to mass, which again stands for mass storage device. You select it, and then you select the hack ELF, and then it will store the file location in the FreeMcBoot configuration, and then you just hit return, and you should be good. Okay, so hit return from here, and then once you've done this, press Save CNF to mass. This will save this new configuration to your memory, not to your memory card, sorry, to your USB thumb drive. And so from here, you can just hit PS2 browser, and it will restart. Keep the disk tray open, don't close it just yet. And then all you need to do once FreeMcBoot reloads here is you just scroll to the new shortcut that you created, and it loads you straight in. So here's that TDF hacks thing that I was talking about. You just press X on it, and it just loads you straight into the ELF file. Just like that. All right, cool. So that's all you should really need to know in order to get the hack pack set up. If you have any questions about it or run into any technical issues along the way, feel free to reach out to me. The Neopets Discord is probably the best way to find me, and some of the other speedrunners would probably be able to help you because we pretty much all have this set up for practice. Thank you so much for checking out this video. The next video will be a manual on all the current available features for the hack pack in the latest version, which will it may change in the future, so I'll remake the video if I need to. But yeah, again, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll catch you all in the hack pack manual video. Take it easy, folks.